Hey guys, my name's Angelique, and today I'm out here on this nice day at Bud Smell Motor Cars in Greensburg to give you a special look at the Mercedes-Benz A220. This is Mercedes' new flagship entry-level sedan, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Now for the outside of this car, this does look a little bit different than some of the other Mercedes. First, you'll notice on the front, it does have the new big emblem right on the front. There's some sensors and stuff behind there, but I also just think it looks really cool. You have a little chrome strip around it and then that nice big black grille. Of course, there are LED headlights on the Mercedes. Just gives you that nice sleek look in the front. But then when you come around, you do see this kind of that classy style sedan. It's not like a low sitting coupe or anything like that. It's traditional, you have all four doors. It's just a really nice sophisticated look, I think. It has nice sized 17-inch wheels. I think they're the perfect size for this car. It kind of makes it look a little aggressive, but it still sits nice and low. You do have the shiny chrome handles that kind of stick out. When you come along the back here, again, you see some more chrome accents. You see your badging, A220. This is the model with the 4MATIC. And then you do have the dual exhaust. So it still does kind of give a little bit of that sporty look while just maintaining a nice, simple, classy sedan look without being too overbearing for some people. Again, on the other side, you have the chrome accents that continue all around the car. This is that nice white. And on the roof there, you'll see the black. That is for your sunroof. Once we're inside, I'll show you how that opens up, but it just provides a nice little contrast with the white, the black, and then the chrome accent on the outside of this brand new Mercedes. Now, of course, this does have the keyless entry, so as long as your key fob is on you, you just reach right behind this handle, the vehicle will unlock, and you'll also actually see your side view mirrors will open up. So the key fob's in my pocket, I'm just gonna reach behind, the vehicle unlocks, and there go my mirrors. After you get out, if you do want to lock the vehicle, it's the same keyless system. You'll see a little indent. You just kind of touch that with your hand, vehicle locks, and your mirrors close up. But right now, let's go ahead and jump inside and get a look on the inside because that's the most exciting part about this new A-Class. So when we first come inside and we see the door here, you'll probably notice a little more buttons than you're used to. The Mercedes does have the controls for the seats right here on the door. So you'll see the settings, and then you also have your controls to recline, move the seat forward, backwards, up and down. Right above that, you'll see the button for your heated seats. There's 3 settings. You can press that to run through those. You have your unlock and lock are tucked behind the door handle here. Your handle, your normal controls for your power windows. These are your controls for your mirrors to adjust both sides. And then down here, you'll see your button to release your trunk and your speaker finishing up the door right here. But the main thing about this door is just that the seat settings are on the door and the lumbar support for the seat settings are still on the seat in the traditional spot. So coming right inside here, you'll find your parking brake. This is kind of an unusual placement for it, but it's just a nice little button right there. You'll see one of your nice circular vents. These look really cool and they're really practical inside the Mercedes. You do have your controls for your headlight, and then you also have your brightness adjustment to adjust the brightness for all your screens, which we'll see later. On the left side of the steering wheel is where you'll find your controls for your adaptive cruise control, and then your home buttons for your infotainment screen in front of you. So you'll see here you can resume your cruise control, cancel, you can adjust your speed, you can turn it on and off, and right above that you have a back button which operates the screen in front of you, your home button for the screen in front of you, and this is a little touchpad so you can go back and forth, up and down, and run through the menus, which I will show you later. On the right side of the steering wheel here, this is where you're going to find your controls for your voice, your Bluetooth calling, and then also your volume control for your media. So you can dial in and out, you can hang up or start phone calls and speak who you want to call to the car. And then you'll also see another home button, a back button, and another pad, except these ones on the right side work the screen right in the middle here on your entertainment system, whereas the other side works the infotainment system in front of you. Right behind it, you may see an unusual knob here. This is your transmission shifter. So instead of your normal knob that may be over here for your windshield wipers, those are moved over to the left, and this knob here will go up for reverse, in the middle for neutral, down for drive, and there's just a little button you press for park. So that's kind of a different little feature for your transmission. And then of course on either side of the steering wheel, you will find your paddle shifters to shift up and down if you would like to control the vehicle that way. So the vehicle starts right up for you after you press that button, and right underneath that button you will notice a little circle with an A inside. That is the option to turn on and off your engine stopping, which kind of just conserves you fuel whenever the vehicle is idling. It'll shut itself off to give you better fuel efficiency, but you can turn that off with the press of that button. Now coming into the middle here, this is where the new A-Class really shines. It has a lot of the new features that Mercedes is going to be rolling out on its new vehicles. So of course the first thing you notice is these huge screens. And what's really awesome about these screens is they are touch screen. So you can touch anything and run through your settings and stuff that way, or you can use the touchpad down here. But within these screens, you can essentially do whatever you want to do. So you'll see there's different comfort settings, there's information on the vehicle, your regular settings, your media, and then navigation. So one nice thing is if you choose your navigation, it'll show up on that whole screen. You also have it on this screen over here, and you can set it to show navigation across the entirety of this dash. So we'll dig more into the screen later, but that's of course the first thing you notice. Coming down here, again, more of those circular vents. It's nice that you have 3 because that way if you're driving, you may not want the air directly on you. You can just have it blowing out of the middle one or the side one, and then those rotate all around. So that's just a nice, really sporty looking feature, and it is also practical. The climate system in the new A220 is really easy to use. It does have the dual climate, so you'll see there are 2 controls for either side to adjust the temperature. And then coming in through, you'll see you can go to your menu, you can adjust the fan speed, turn it on and off, max air, the rear air, recycle the air, go to your air conditioning, and then you can just sync so both sides are the same. So you can also do all of your climate within the touchscreen, but it is nice to have those physical buttons laid out. Coming down, there's a big indent here. It's definitely big enough for a cell phone, a wallet, your keys, sunglasses. There's plenty of room down there. In some models, there's actually the available wireless charging pad, so that is where you'll find the wireless charging in the Mercedes if it is equipped with that. This model is not. Coming from there, you will see 2 plugs. In here you have your plug for a regular 12 volt, you can plug in chargers or anything. And then here you'll see we do have a dongle plugged in. This is where if you plug in your smartphone, if it's equipped with the Apple CarPlay or the Android Auto, you plug it in there. And that's a really nice way to plug it in and toss it down in your little storage compartment. With the cup holders, they're basic cup holders, but they do have a neat little feature. In case your cup is too small and you don't want it kind of swaying around in the cup holder there, you can actually press these little buttons here. They have play symbols. So this one points that way. When you press it, an extra little extender pops up, and this is for the driver's side. And that just kind of keeps any smaller cups. It gives you a few different options instead of just the one setting. Just a nice little feature so you can make sure your drinks don't spill. And then you come back from that, and this is where your main control center is. So you do have a few little knobs here. The one says dynamic, and you'll see whenever you flick that on your screen, you have your different drive modes. And the other knob is for your volume control for your media. You can also press down on that knob, and that is how you turn the media on and off. This pad here is a nice touchpad. It actually does give you haptic feedback, so that's really handy, so you can use this without needing to look down, because you can actually tell that it is picking up your hand, it is picking up your motions, and then you can press down on it when you want to select something. You just pop down just like a laptop. You can see there is a home button. You pop down and it takes you home. There is a back button, and then this button here will let you run through your radio stations, or if you're playing music on your phone, that is your forward and backwards for that. A neat little feature of this back button, it does show you on the screen where you will go if you press the back button. So that's kind of nice, because when you have all these different options, you may get lost, and it's just like a nice little feature that it will tell you where you're going back to. So the back button's nice to have. And then you do have some actual buttons on the side. You have one quick button to go to your navigation, that'll pull your map up if you don't want to use the touch screen. One button for your radio and media. You do have your button here for your telephone if you have your smartphone connected, which mine is currently connected to this, so it'll pull up contacts, recent calls, and then of course you have your favorites button, which you can customize all of that to your liking, and then you have your button to just go into kind of the information for your vehicle. Right here is just a nice little resting pad for you to rest your wrist or your hand on. We are using this control. So it's just a really nice, comfortable, intuitive system. And I'll show you how easy that is to use on the test drive. Coming into your middle storage here, it's a little bit different. You'll see that there's a line up the middle, so it's split into two. You press this button and it pops open that way. You'll just find your additional storage, and then you will find a USB-C plug in there, and that's the same thing with the dongle that we had earlier. You can plug this in, and then you can just plug any regular USB into that. It's a decent amount of storage. You can store paperwork, cell phones, anything you may need. Just a nice little design, makes it a little more fun. Now the seats in here are really comfortable. This does have the leather seats. You can see kind of a little indent here. This is for the seat kinetics. In your settings, you can turn on the seat kinetics, and it just kind of gently moves. It's not a massage, but it'll just kind of move, keep you from cramping up on long drives. You kind of really get used to it, and it's a nice little thing when you're driving, and just shifts your legs. It shifts up top here too. So that's a nice little luxury feature. Over on the passenger side door, you see the same things as on the driver's side. Your seat controls are up top. Your button for your heated seats, your handle, your window control. You do have nice handles you can grab here. It's nice soft touch material. And then you have big cup holders and a nice little storage space. Across the top here, this is all nice soft touch, and then it has this kind of carbon fiber style on the dash. It's just, it feels nice, but then it also kind of looks really cool with the screens. I think it all sits flushly, very nicely. And your final big round vent over there. You do have a nice little glove box, which is lockable, so you pop that open. There's a nice little diagram here to let you know that your manual and instructions can be kept in this glove box. When you close it, if you have the key for the vehicle, you just go ahead and lock that, and then it can't be opened. Coming up top here, it is really nice in this vehicle because everything inside is black. So the headliner is black, and then all your controls in the middle here are black. You do have your rear view mirror, which you can adjust. It has the dimming, so lights aren't blinding you from behind. You have your traditional glasses holder. Toss some sunglasses up there. I think the way the lights are laid out up here, they look really nice. You can go through your different settings if you want one light on, two light on, if you want them to come on when you open the door. You do have your emergency buttons here. You'll see the SOS. And then you do have your controls for your sunroof. So like I mentioned earlier, that black on top is for the powered moonroof we have here. You can use this button to open and close the moonroof and the shade, or you can actually just use the MBUX system and it'll open it and close it for you. So right now we have it open, but if I wanted to close it and I didn't want to reach up there, I can just say, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help you?"
Close the sunshade.
I'm closing the roller sun blinds.
And just like that, the Mercedes would listen to the voice command, close that sunshade for you, and you never even really have to use those buttons. So that's just kind of a sneak peek at how the MBUX system works, and we'll dig into that more later. Now coming into the back here, this is a sedan, so of course you're not going to see as much of the back row space and kind of features that you would in a big family-oriented SUV, but you do still have plenty of room. These are the leather seats. They're super comfortable. You do have two vents back here, so the back seat passengers can kind of control their air a little bit. In the middle here, you do have a nice little storage area. You can toss a cell phone in here, and then again, you have two more of those USB-C plugs. So that's really nice, charging and anything that your back seat. If there's kids back here, they can charge their phones. You do have your extra little netting for storage, and that is on both seats. And then you'll see these seats do have this extra little hump here. This is just a nice cushion. It's really form-fitting. So if you do have taller people back here or anything, their knees aren't just up in the air. This really provides a nice seat to kind of lounge back here. And then if you look on against the back of the seats, you'll see your anchors for car seats. That's really nice because in some vehicles, those are kind of tucked under flaps or hidden between the seats. They're right there, really easy to get to. You can easily get a car seat in and out of here, and your top tethers are up top, also really accessible. So you can see it is extremely fit for children. Having kids back here, if you do only have two passengers, you can go ahead and pull down your middle This provides a nice armrest, and then you can just pop these open, and it provides you 2 little cup holders that just fold down, and you can put various size cups, bottles, or anything in there. Then it just folds away, and you do have 3 seats for passengers back here. So it's an overall nice back seat, very fitting for this sedan, and luckily the powered moonroof is big enough that even your backseat passengers can get a nice view of the sky and take in that air. So it's just a really well-sized family sedan. And then for the trunk here, there is a trunk release button on the inside on the driver's door, but there's also a release button on your key fob, so you just hold that button in. The trunk will pop right open for you. Again, this is a sedan, so you're not gonna get like a full hatch or anything like that, but for the style vehicle that it is, you do get plenty of room in here. You'll see right now we have the Mercedes mats in here, but even moving those around, you can see how far it goes back. I can reach in there pretty deeply. You do have a split with your seats, so you can fold your seats down if you need even more room. And then if we move those mats, there's just a little opening here. You can pop this right up. You kind of have a little bit of additional storage, jacks, anything you want to store underneath here. And you do have some tie downs if you do want to put a cargo net back here. So there is plenty of room for this being a sedan. So with your trunk, if you are trying to put some stuff in here, use the cargo space, but you need a little bit more area to get those seats to fold down. You'll see there's 2 levers here. So you just go ahead and you pull those, and now we'll unlock the back row seats for you. Then you can go around, open your back door, and fold those right down. And you'll see that just kind of opens up a lot of extra space for you. Plenty of space to store some groceries, any gear, whatever you need. There's plenty of cargo space in this little sedan. So with that MBUX system, there's kind of a lot of little fun features you can do. I did demonstrate it will open the sunshade, it will pull up navigation things, but then you can also use it to control the temperature inside the car. So not only can you say things very specific like, "Hey Mercedes,
How can I help you?
set the temperature to 72.
I'm setting the temperature to 72 degrees.
So you can use it very technically, but the really fun thing about the MBUX system is it's more casual and it's more based on normal conversation. So instead of giving specific directions, you can talk as if you were talking to a regular person, and you can say, "Hey Mercedes,
How can I help you?
I'm cold."
I'm setting the temperature to 74 degrees.
So you can see you don't even have to give it specific instructions. You can just kind of say what you're feeling, and the Mercedes will adjust the surroundings according to how you're feeling. There are also, of course, options with lighting and everything. This model does not have that, but it is an option to set ambient lighting. And then with these heated seats, you can also very specifically say, "Hey Mercedes,
How can I help you?
turn on my heated seat."
I'm switching on the seat heating.
And there you go, the lights will come on, and the Mercedes will go ahead and turn on the heated seats for you. So that MBUX, there's really kind of endless possibilities. I just demonstrated a few, but there's a lot of things you can do with this vehicle. The technology inside here is really what sets this thing apart from anything else we've seen like it. So now to get this Mercedes on the road, we're gonna go out, try to demonstrate some of the safety features for you, like the blind spot sensing. That's always nice to see. And then I'm also going to try to demonstrate how easy it is to use this touchpad while driving. With that feedback, you don't even have to look down. You know that it's picking up your hand movements. So it just makes it really easy and convenient to use. So to get this thing into speed, I do have it in sport mode right now. Kind of just makes it a little more fun, but there are different options. Either way, it's kind of nice to drive. It has the power, it has the get up and go. So as you can see, vehicles passing me in the left lane, the triangle will light up. So when there is the vehicle in my blind spot and I do try to turn on my turn signal, it will beep and it will flash to let me know it's not safe to cut over. So when you are driving, if you do kind of just have your hand naturally resting here, the touchpad is really in a perfect spot. The screen is obviously very easy to see, so anytime I want to run through those settings, you just swipe left and right, and it will actually vibrate to let you know it's picking up your movements. So I like to keep it on my media just so I know what my music is playing, see the artist, song title, but a lot of people may also want to keep it on their navigation. And like I mentioned earlier, you can go right into your comfort settings. You press down on the touchpad and you'll kind of see your seats, and then you'll see little play buttons. So I like to keep this on. This is those seat kinetics. So the seat will kind of move while I'm driving, keeps you from cramping up. Then you can just go ahead and go back. You can press the home, and that will also take you to the same menu. And see, my seat just kind of shifted. Just moves your legs, get you in a nice little position. So with this left side, again, it's really easy to do. You can just swipe up, and you can swipe, and you can have different versions of your navigation. You can go through your different eco settings. If you go over to the left, you can change the middle. You can set your navigation where you would like it to go. If you go over to the left again, you can swipe through. You can show your music on here. You can show your scheduled route. There's really just plenty of options. This is completely customizable. Again, I like to just keep it at my speed. I like to keep the navigation in the middle, and then I keep RPMs or maybe music on the farthest right screen. If you do want everything to be navigation, again, you just put full screen, and now you just have a bunch of different versions of your map. There's no excuse for ever getting lost in this car. You can see exactly where you are at all times. You can tell it to go somewhere. So if you do have your map up and you want to use that MBUX, again, you just use that, "Hey Mercedes,
How can I help you?
where is the nearest gas station?"
Please select an entry.
So then it'll just go ahead, pull up all my different options for gas stations. I can pick one, and then that navigation will give me directions right to the nearest gas station. You can also go down in your menu. So aside from the ones I've already shown you, if you swipe down, you'll see various themes here, so you can kind of change those. It just changes a little bit the look of your screens. So I just went ahead and changed it to standard, and it'll change my infotainment screen automatically without going through everything. You can go down under the themes, and that's where you get into your favorites, so you can change what you want to display. You also get into some of your settings, your sound settings, and then you can just swipe all the way back up, and you're back into your normal menu. It does, of course, have the backup camera, so I'm going to try to demonstrate that. You can see it's really clear, crisp, always easy to see, and then it does have the predictive lines. So as I turn the steering wheel, you will see the lines change, and that will just tell you where you're going to end up. So as I start to back up, the more I turn the steering wheel, the more the lines will predict. And I'm coming around, it's really clear to see. You can kind of straighten it out, you can go the other way, and it really just kind of makes it easy to back up. As you do get close to something, you can see that red line there, and you can also see your bumper, so that's nice. You don't even have to just depend on the line. You can actually see the bottom of your bumper and know how close you are to something, and you can also change the view. So this gives you kind of like a wide angle view. It pulls in the side, you'll see the tail lights, so that kind of shows you if there's something to the side, maybe a pole sticking out or another vehicle. You get two ways to check your surroundings. With that backup camera, a nice little feature is even if you do switch into drive, the camera still stays on for a while. So even if I start to move forward, the camera stays on, because Mercedes understands that when you're pulling out of a parking lot, even though you may be going forward, you still kind of need to know what's behind you. So that's just a nifty little thing that they thought of. And then you can always just go to the menu if you want to get out of that backup camera a little sooner. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my review and test drive of the brand new Mercedes-Benz A220. If you'd like to come down and check out this vehicle and more, stop on down right off Route 30 in Greensburg at Bud Smell Motor Cars, or you can visit us online at smellmercedesbenz.com.